Hey folks, it's Rob Plux here with another Real Deal in the Field, and we're here with Jamie and Maxine. A project they have recently just finished. They are students in our program, but this is a project that you brought into our program that you already had underway. Why don't you tell everybody, I guess, a little bit about where we are and what the project actually is?
Yeah, right. So where we are today is the Palm Beach in the Gold Coast. So we were looking for a site down here. We're actually based on the Gold Coast, so we were looking for something close by. And we wanted to tick a few boxes. We wanted it to be close to the beach. We wanted to have cafes, restaurants, and all the likes. And all these things are within about 200 or 300 meters walk. So we really ticked a lot of boxes, and we're in a more of a high-end sort of place, and we're really happy with the location.
Awesome location, but a couple of challenges on site. Very first one we touched on was you're actually in a flood zone. So Palm Beach has, I guess, quite a lot of flooding in around the area.
Right.
So how bad was the flooding, and what do we have to do up the back to actually resolve that?
So basically we had to have the first habitable area 1 metre off the ground. We had to put in a detention tank for the stormwater as well. Something we had out the back as well that we discovered later on is that we had the bins stored out the back, and it was overlooked that there was no way to get them through the house. So we had to adjust at the end and put in some decks around the back that pulled it up to the right height for the flood. That's
Okay. So mentioned in there. Detention basin. So for those of you out there who aren't aware, so detention basin is because we've got all this hard surface with roof, concrete, that sort of thing, that creates a whole bunch of stormwater challenges. And when you've got that much water hitting our stormwater network in one hit, the detention basin captures it, slows it down, and then we'll trickle feed it into the network over many, many times. So it doesn't add to the flooding challenge. But you did say, and you said it quite quickly, you had to build these 1 metre off the ground. So we're going to have a look at that in a couple of seconds in order to resolve that particular, or show you how they actually resolve that challenge. But there was another issue, and we're pretty much standing on it right here. So there was a fire hydrant in the middle of the driveway that you missed in your due diligence process.
We
We didn't have the education at that time about fire hydrants. We learned that in Rob's current course, actually. So later on I was like, okay, we have a fire hydrant. Didn't cause any issues until we went to pour the driveway. The civil engineer did all the correct levels according to how things should have been, but it turns out that the fire hydrant was not to code. It was built like in the 60s, and the levels were completely out. So we had to adjust that. It didn't turn out to be an expensive or hard thing to do, but it just did sort of delay a few things and just throw a couple of spanners, and we had to get consultants back out to have a look. But next time we know to look for the fire.
Yeah, so basically had to, because the driveway was higher than the fire hydrant, had to lift the fire hydrant up, rebuild that to current standards and make it trafficable so that people can actually drive over it, because it's still in the middle of the driveway. So lesson learned, folks. If you're looking for fire hydrants, there's a thing in the middle of the road that reflects off your headlights. It's called a cat's eye. And there are blue cat's eyes in southeast Queensland at least, but a lot of places all the way around the country it's blue, so that when the fire engine is racing down the street, it's a white one, a white one, a white one, a blue one. Hey, I know where the fire hydrant is. So what we might do, we might pop inside. We'll show everyone, I guess, what we had to do to solve that flooding issue with the 1 metre height, and then we might do a little bit of a guided tour. So back in a sec, folks. Hey, folks, a second ago we mentioned the fact that there was a flood zone here, and we had to build about 1 metre off the ground. So we're right at the front entrance to unit number 1 here, and the best way to actually demonstrate what we had to do, if I step back, you can actually see through this window here. This window is actually ground floor of floor number 1. So you can see that's quite high up my hip. So that is ground floor. That's how we've actually had to overcome that. And as we go inside, you're going to see many, many stairs in order to navigate past all of that.
Yeah, we had to do that across all the units. All 3 townhouses required the same, and obviously the garage is down at the right level. It's uninhabitable. Very good.
See you upstairs. Okay, folks, here we are coming through the entrance, and we just wanted to show you these little steps coming up. This is what we had to do in order to overcome the flood level. And this is ground floor, which is the 4th bedroom in this particular one. 4th bedroom, I guess, has a miniature ensuite.
So you can see there's a little ensuite to the side here. And this is like a multi-purpose room, great for a parents' retreat or for teenage kids.
Or visitors.
So all of these townhouses are 4 bedrooms, is that correct?
They're 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom. It's actually 506 block, and they're 192 square metres each.
So that's a lot of living space on a very small, tiny block.
Yeah.
We had a really good designer that was able to craft this, and the way we did it was went up rather than out. So there are 3 levels, and they tick a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Let's
We
go.
have
Let's
a
go.
9 oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You go.
I was going to say the 9 metre height limit, so we could squeeze in that master suite on the top floor, which sort of takes up the whole 50% that we were allowed.
Perfect. Let's navigate some stairs and see the other 2 levels. Here we are inside the kitchen and living area. So lovely fit out. So well done. This is level 2. Let's talk a little bit about the build costs, because you guys got this in the middle of COVID. And then after, I guess, in the middle of the COVID, the building boom happened. And then price points for building just went through the roof. So what did you originally project the construction for these 3 townhouses to be?
Yeah, so the original construction cost we were looking at, we were working with a builder, we were looking at about 1.6. And when we plugged that number into the FISO, everything was sweet. But the reality was different. When it actually, when we secured the site and started started talking to our builder to get the proper quote, that had actually jumped up by 800K.
800K.
Which took it to 2.4, and effectively the project was no longer viable. So we were close to just saying this ain't going to work and walking, or we could kick ourselves in the pants and figure out a solution.
Yep.
Which is what we did.
Quick change of plan. Always have to be nimble. We are problem solvers, folks, and so obviously respect the build in order to guess downsize on a little bit of the opulence,
Right,
but still kept a nice quality finish. It looks really good.
Yeah.
We kept it more of a. We had high finishes. We're down towards maybe mid to high end.
Yeah.
But the key thing was finding a complete new builder.
Yeah.
And we were able. He took a shorter margin, and we were able to get it for a better price. And we ended up being around $2 million as opposed to the
2 million.
2.4.
So you've kind of shaved that uplift in half, brought it back in, I guess, into a feasible range, and executed fast before the prices jacked up again. And prices are still going up, folks. So if you're looking at the construction side of things, make sure you're factoring in a 5 to 8% rise in construction costs at the moment. So factor that into your building and construction costs. So this is level 2. We've got an outdoor alfresco area and 2 bedrooms on this level.
That's right. Yep. 2 more bedrooms here and then 1 up at the top. But this is, like I said, it's Palm Beach on the Gold Coast. So it's indoor, outdoor living. Got a beautiful balcony out here where we think a lot of people will be spending a lot of their time.
Yep. And a little mini pantry, I guess butler's pantry. So I guess nice little touches. Well done. Okay, we're going to go upstairs, folks. Have a look at the master bedroom. Hey, folks, top floor master bedroom, looking really good. Ensuite over there, you can just see. We won't do a guided tour of the ensuite because we've all seen a bathroom before. Going to talk about project timelines, I guess, as a final closeout. So had a couple of challenges there. Obviously, you were going through a COVID time and lots of things happened in there. But what were some of the impacts from what you projected your timeline to be, and I guess what it ended up being, and what were the causes of all of those challenges?
Yeah, so I think on the FISO, we had allocated about 2 years from go to finish, and the results probably going to end up to be about 2.5 years. Now, this was a number of reasons. I think the main thing is just the critical path. We weren't sure exactly which consultants, partners, etc., were dependent on other partners. So did you want to talk to that then?
Well, I might firstly just tell people what critical path is, because when we're talking project management, there's many, many tasks that you need to do in a process. And critical path is where one task is dependent on a previous task. And if one gets delayed, it has a knock-on effect to all of the others. And so when you understand and you map out all your tasks, some can be done in parallel, some must be done in sequence. And it's about knowing which ones are going to impact your timeline and getting the hustle on to those ones. And the other ones, well, you can relax a little bit on those. They still have to be done, but you've got a little bit more flexibility in the system. So that's what we talk about with critical path. But Maxine, you were going to say something?
Oh, just with our experience, we, as Rob said, we didn't have everything lined up correctly as smoothly as we'd like it. And also we found that a lot of consultants at the time were, when the building boom started, they were super busy and we couldn't line them up anyway, even though we did try so we did have to wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, that didn't go as well either. So
yeah,
just time.
Then this was our first foray into commercial lending.
Mm.
We're experienced with residential lending, but there were quite a few steps involved with commercial, which kind of caught us out. So,
yeah.
great lesson.
But commercial lending, folks, well, I guess when residential lending will only get you so far. Typically, you can only get a maximum of 3 dwellings out of residential lending. It's dependent on your serviceability as well. So you hit this glass ceiling as to how big your project is. Whilst this one was 3 dwellings, you chose to go down the commercial path. Commercial deals look at the profitability of the deal itself rather than your serviceability, which means that you get rid of that glass ceiling and 3 is no longer your limit. It's whether or not you've got a cracking deal. And if you've got a cracking deal, the money will come, folks. Parting thoughts?
I think the experience has been fantastic. I'm fortunate to have done it with Maxine, my wife. It's brought us together. We've had our challenges, but all in all, we're so proud of what we've delivered here and looking forward to doing a hell of a lot more. It's been great fun.
And it's a very quality product. And both these guys are going to come and present the full story, what we call a real deal, at one of our upcoming meetups. We run those meetups all the way around the country. Both you can turn up physically in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide, or you can live stream anywhere around the country. So if you want to see their full story and all the warts and all, then tune in to one of the upcoming stories. Till then, folks, bye for now.
Thank you.
Thanks. See ya.